I'm going to start. Um, so the goal tonight is to show you analytical tools that are available on spyhell.org and that you can use to debug these things even when you are moving around. Okay. I haven't tried these particular tools in this browser. I don't know the capabilities of this car in terms of processing power for the browser, right? But if you go to spyhell.org, you will see that yes. There's several tabs in here. Okay. So the ones that I'm going to try to use today are Earth and this one called mBrowsers. Okay. So let's start with this one. So this is a dashboard. You click on that, it will take you to Looker, which is a tool provided by Google. And it has like a very pre-computed. It's a dashboard that has pre-computed subdocs basically. But these are, and this is worldwide. Like this could be used in any country, anywhere. So this has 4 million addresses, as you can see here, right, that have been identified worldwide. So I'm going to focus, of course, I'm not going to go to another country, so I'm going to focus in this area, okay, where I am. So for that, you can select this filter, and I'm going to select USA only, because I'm in the United States. And then for taxpayer address, I'm going to enter the zip code where I am, right, 77494. And I'm going to hit enter. Right. So in this list right here, like this list is not really ranked, right? But actually, let's see. If I go to cities, no, let me see if there's another way I can do it. Let's see. Seven seven four nine four. Okay. So one way to do it is this way, right? So in this filter, you will see that they're already pre-ranked. Okay. And interestingly, so pre-ranked, so you can see the scores in this kind of several column on the right, and K means thousands, right? So the top one has almost 300,000 points in the U index. So I saw already one that is interesting. That is the fourth in this list, okay, and it's very close to Lake Point State. So I want to drive there to see what it is, okay. So I'm going to start heading there. I'm not going to click on it yet, because I don't want to give them any, like they have the Internet of this car captured, right? So the moment I click on it, they will know where I'll go, and they'll move the cars and things like that, right? Okay. So as usual, safety first. So we're gonna fasten the seatbelt, and we're gonna drive at the speed limit, exactly the speed limit. Not a mile faster than that. So I'm gonna put on the music, and I'll click on it when we get closer to the area, okay? Music is important.
was 1989, my father said my hair was long. Got the one between your and man. He was 17, he was far from where he
Okay, so we were Wait a second. Okay, so we were here, right? So I'm going to enter the zip code again, and I'm going to see where is that address that I wanted to look at. Okay.
Now turn left onto Cobia Drive.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, so this address is interesting to me because so it's a 00. So
In 500 feet, turn left.
it's one of the top addresses in Cake, right, in terms of the score. But it's also a 00 address, which means that it's a, sorry, it's a financial node. Oh, I passed it. It's a financial node, and it's in the second layer of the tree. Right? So what the network, the physical addresses, are a hierarchical system. Right? It is exactly as in distributed computing. And the 00 in their nomenclature signifies that it's in the second layer. So it's not a leaf; it's a parent. Right? So this address is an address that distributes financial messages to financial
Now
leads.
turn right onto Cobia Drive.
But it seems to be an apartment complex.
Now
Yeah,
turn right.
it's this apartment complex called Marquis at the Reserve. Okay. Now, the apartment complexes, I'm gonna give you a trick, okay? Because the point you're gonna have is that, well, there could be 500 apartments, right, in this complex. The access is controlled, so I cannot get in. So there could be 500 apartments, right? But the trick is, not the trick, but like the way they encode it is that within the apartment complex, the apartment number is also counts as part of the address, right? So, for example, if my guess, right, would be that there is at least one apartment here that ends in 00, right? And that would make it so that address would have 4 zeros instead of 2, right? So the real financial guy is the guy that lives in the apartment that ends in 00, right? If there's none with 00, then one of the ones that end in 0, right? So the apartment number is also part of the encoding key that they use for the address, and the same applies to the suite numbers in offices, right? So sometimes if you look at the street address, it doesn't match what you would expect, but it's because they encoded the information in the office number or in the suite number, right? So that's one trick that they pull, right? When they can't change the address to make it work, then they encode it in the suite number. Okay, but back to work. This one didn't work because it's closed, right? Like let's see what we can find over here. 3230. This is FM South Fry. So these are probably businesses, right? But this one looks like a house. So let's try that one to see what it is. 344. rows.
Now turn left onto Cobia Drive.
So see, this looks amazing, right? Because like you can see the buffer zone, right? You can see it right here. I mean, this is not random, right? This is there's intelligent design behind this, right? Sorry. So I can tell you, right, just by looking at the satellite imagery, that this confirms, right, what I'm seeing in the GeoIndex. So let's go there, okay? So it's going to be a 15 minutes drive, but you know, let's make the drive. Let's see what is in there.
Now turn left onto Cobia Drive. 500 feet. Turn left onto Kingsland Boulevard. Now turn left onto Kingsland Boulevard.
I don't know, mark that one, 847. Did you see that? So, you know, I mean, that's a common maneuver, but let me pass this for a second. That's a common maneuver, but it gives it away, right? So what they do is the following, right? And this is part of what the things that I can, for example, detect with the behavioral model. So, for example, that was a classic example, right? That's something that it always gives them away. It's the following, right? So the traffic light was in red, right? And I take the left lane, and he took the right lane, right? And here in Texas, or at least in the South Texas, if you're on the right lane and you have the red light, you can make a right. It acts as if it is a stop sign. But what that guy on the white Mercedes did, he did not make the right, right? He stopped there and waited for, I don't know, 10 seconds, right? And after he downloaded the audio of what I was just saying when I was, doing this thing before, he downloaded the audio, and then after, he made the left. It's still in red, right? Like, it wasn't like he was confused because of the light, because the light was always red. He could have made a right turn seconds ago, like several seconds ago, but he didn't, because he was downloading the audio, right? And I'm telling you this not out of guess, because, I have instruments to measure the signals, right? But even if you don't have the instruments, you can detect them behaviorally, right? So it's the scoring technique is a technique of combining multiple signals in different dimensions. It's more or less what search engines and information retrieval systems do, right? And the idea behind doing that is that, there's a saying in the business that it's like,
in 1,000 feet, turn left onto Pin Oak Road.
Okay, 1 second. So the saying says that you can fool anybody once, but you cannot fool everybody at the same time, right? So that is a technique that is very deeply rooted in information retrieval systems. And the idea is
turn left onto Pin Oak Road.
You create signals or models, in this case, that are orthogonal to each other, right? So, for example, the behavioral models look at things that have nothing to do with electronic signals or radio frequency signals. The radio frequency models look at things that have nothing to do with behavior or with computer vision. The computer vision model look at things that has nothing to do with radio frequency or with behavior, right? So, if say that you have 5 or 6 different dimensions, right, and a particular agent or vehicle scores high in the 6 different models, it's pretty sure it's an agent, right? So that's the idea, combining the scoring of different dimensions that are orthogonal to each other, right? That's the key. They have to be orthogonal, because otherwise you get different. So anyhow, it's just a technical one. Sorry. But I have to tell you, this is kind of fun, like taking the levels to
in 500 feet, turn right onto KBC Road. Now turn right onto KBC Road.
See, this is a good example. See, this guy this is 8:51 p.m. SSX 0735. This is Dodge Ram Black. He had a chance to turn right, and he could turn right now. Like the light is red, but he could turn right, and there's nobody coming on the other direction. But he is pretending like he doesn't know, right? And then he's doing his thing, right? That's what he's doing. Now, I have to tell you, there's certain vehicles of their network where the agent has the ability to listen. Like, not all of them. Like, some of them are just like dumb, gateways, right? Like, the agent has no idea what is going on. The agent just gets directions and instructions, right? Like, drive in this direction, park here for this many seconds. But there's some agents that I can tell that they can listen real time. Because like, for example, that guy, like, he reacted to what I said. Right? Like, when I said that, he started moving. So I imagine, right? Probably because he works in intelligence, right? And he has the different software that allows him to listen in real time. But as I tell you, these days, pretty much all of them are intelligent, right? Like, in the state in which they are right now, they're only taking up the agents that are like real agents, right? I guess there's still risk, and they don't want to get overexposed, right? And speaking of that, I'm going to take also this opportunity to start giving you the technical notes, right, that I've been meaning to give, but I haven't had time. So I think around demo 77 or 78, I talked about the license plates of the nuclear set, right, like the inverted W. There could be W or M, right, multiple W's or M's in the plate. That they started using around October 21st, I think. So one of the countermeasures that they're using is that after I posted the video, immediately after, they flooded Katie with a bunch of plates, an unusually high, not super high number of plates that contain W's or M's, right? I guess what they're doing is destroying the distribution, right? Like destroying the statistical signature of this. Because, you know, if they had, say, 250 agents with this special plate, and the thing is known, it would be easy for the FBI to identify. So what they did, they brought in, say, 10,000 plates, right? I don't know, 2,000 plates, right? 10 times the number of plates that they had with the nuclear set. Like it's like tenfold the number I'm saying. And the idea is to make them hard to detect by the FBI, right? So I want to give the heads up that, you know, after the date of the demo, I can't recall when I recorded the demo. Probably was October 23rd, around that date. It was like 2 days after the incident of the 4th, the 21st, where I recorded the guy at the gas station, right? It was 2 or 3 days after that. So
1,000 feet, enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
So like 2 or 3 days after, they started floating the market that's coming our way with 10 times more planes with W's or M's. So I'm trying to say
you enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
If you analyze even my recordings, right? If you're looking at recordings made after the
500 feet, turn left onto Crossover Road.
After the 24th, you cannot be looking at the W's and the M's, right? Because now
they're turn left onto Crossover Road.
They're just adding noise, basically, right? With those points. So you can't trust that anymore. But on the recordings that are before that date, so before the 23rd or 24th, you can trust them. So those are the real ones, right? The real ones are still around. Like there's some of them that I can detect because I have the behavioral model, the radio frequency models. Like I have the other models, like not only the computer vision. So I can still detect them, right? But I imagine if authorities are just looking at the videos, they could get confused, right? But for example, there's a couple of ones that I've got recently that are very important, and I'll tell you later which they are. But I got them because I have the other models, right? All right, so I'm gonna shut off and I'm gonna keep driving.
In 500 feet, turn left on 2000 to Market Road 1463 Road. Then turn left on 2000 to Market Road 1463 Road.